Hearthstone's newest expansion is here, the Voyage to the Sunken City expansion. And with that are some new and exciting cards and keywords, like Bloodscent Vilefin, the return of Murloc Shaman. Wait, there's cards in Warlock? What? With the Vilefin, we have our first new keyword, the Dredge keyword. You look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck and you pick one to put on top. In this case, if you dredged a Murloc, you change its cost to health instead of mana. There is a slight problem though, Warlock doesn't have any Murlocs. Considering how little Murloc support Shaman got in the past year, I really doubt Warlock will just suddenly get a bunch. You know what? Actually, let's make a bet. If Warlock somehow gets a really good Murloc deck, I will craft every single card in that deck and be forced to play it. I'm a free-to-play player, by the way. This will cost me weeks of time, some money, a woman, I guess. Or you can comment or tweet at me another punishment I should do, you know, if you want to make me suffer. But if Murloc Shaman is not a thing, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a good thing, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. Maybe follow on Twitch and Twitter if you really want to. You know, or you could do that now, that would make me really happy. I'm not giving out card ratings yet, there's 13 cards, come on, let's be real. But keep an eye out for Murloc Warlocks, I still don't think it's going to be a good deck. Zlag of the Abyss, which shows off the second new keyword. Colossal cards are cards that are too big to fit onto one card. So whenever they are summoned from the hand, from the deck, or wherever, they summon an X amount of minions with them. Here you'll see that Zlag is Colossal 4, so they'll summon 4 Zlag stocks which deal 1 damage at the end of the turn. Zlag increases the damage of its stocks by 1 at the beginning of your own turn. A lot of Demon Hunter's demon support is getting rotated out, like Pit Commander and Fell Summoner, so maybe it's not going to be such a good card. There is still some support, like Sigil of Reckoning in Standard right now. Like a lot of Demon Hunter cards, there are a lot of must-put-ins, like Caria, however you pronounce that card, but the bigger question is how good is it going to be? I really hope it's going to be good, but so much big Demon Hunter support is getting rotated out, I'm not sure how good this deck will be. Bootstrap Sunkeneer, the 5-mana 4/4 Rogue Pirate, with the combo of putting an enemy minion on the bottom of your opponent's deck. This card really reminds me of Vilespine Slayer, a 5-mana 3/4 that just destroys a minion for comboing. You've got to ask yourself, is putting an enemy minion on the bottom of your opponent's deck really better than just, say, destroying it? You do get a 5-mana 4/4, which is okay considering the effect, but is this card just a worse Vilespine Slayer? Something that is neat is that this card messes up the dredge mechanic. So they made a mechanic and they totally made a card which just destroys that mechanic. I love it. Spell Coiler, battle cry, if you've cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. I am so glad mages finally get to play another minion besides Mizaki and maybe some multicasters. It shows off the new minion type, the Naga, which is really spell oriented, which is great for mage of course. I'm going to be completely honest though, I have no idea where the direction of mage can go. It's so spell oriented right now and cards like Incanter Spell are getting removed. You've got your hero power mage and some big spells, but what next? What for minions? Maybe the Asheran Sweeper is going to solve that problem with the Mecha Mage coming back, boys! Let's go! It's been like 7 years! With the battle cry of putting a Sunken Sweeper on the bottom of your deck and the Sunken Sweeper just being a really good value card. The Sunken Sweeper adding 3 random mechs to your hand.
Ka-ching!
It looks like a really good card for Mech Mage. Too bad it's the only mech in mage, but you know, it's getting there, yeah. So is it going to be Nagas or is it going to be mechs in mage for this expansion? I guess we will see. Maybe this is just in there for a good value card, who knows? If you've played in the last few days, you've gotten Blade Master Okani for free. Basically, you either play Counterspell or you play Counterspell for a minion. It's the same idea as Flight Master Dungar, you get a free card for the expansion, everyone's hype, and then everyone forgets about that card when the expansion comes out. But you know what? We like it while it's here. Maybe it'll be a tech card for some combo decks, we will see. Tuskar Trawler, Battlecry Dredge. We all know in every Hearthstone expansion, there's going to be one card that just has the new keyword on it. In Forged in the Barrens, it was Peon, and coincidentally, this has the same stat line as Peon, so that's cool. This card is the definition of a good for arena card. Shimmering Sunfish, Battlecry, if you're holding a holy spell, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Now there does seem to be a holy spell theme in Paladin, which is great because they've got cards like Cariel and Invigorating Sermon, which I really want to see play. But I think it's best we talk about this card with the legendary Paladin card, Kotari Lightblade. After you cast a holy spell on this, cast it on another friendly minion. Libram Paladins, I hate them. Good thing they're getting rotated out, you know? Other great cards like Knight of Anointment and Hand of Adal are also getting rotated out. So bye bye holy spells. You do have Battle of a card, which is pretty good, I'd say. But other than that, the only spell that targets and is also a holy spell is Hold the Bridge. The problem with Qatari Lightblade is that you have to cast a holy spell on this minion while another minion is already on the board. That is not an easy thing to do, especially on turn 2. It's more of a late game card. I think Shimmering Sunfish can be a bit better. You can just plop it on the board whenever you're holding a holy spell. Invigorating Sermon. I think the power level of these two cards are entirely dependent on how good the holy spells are right now. Big Paladin is more viable, I'd say, considering what cards are rotating out. So hopefully they got some holy spells for you. Kalak, another colossal card. It's immune when you control Kalak's shell. A lot of the druid cards which are dominating standard right now get rotated out in a few months. I'm talking about the Eclipse card, Cenarion Ward. If you just plop Kalak on the board, it can technically buffer 8 damage and then it gives you some armor from Kalak's shell. So if you really want to be optimistic, it's a 7 mana heal 16. That is not a good way to phrase it, but you get the idea. We see a lot of token and aggro druids. We see a lot of big control armor druids. This looks like more of a mid-rangey card and we don't have any of those right now. So hopefully we get some supporting card for some mid-range druid. It's also Beast, so you know, Beast Druid. Nudge nudge. Serpent Wig. Give a minion +1/+1 if you played a Naga while holding this, add a Serpent Wig to your hand. If you know anything about cards that keep adding cards to your hand, I'm talking about Headcrack, Explorer's Hat, they have never really seen play. The only exception to this is Libram, and I'm pretty sure that's because Libram's had a whole deck built around it. So if there's a Naga Priest deck and they build a whole deck around Nagas, would Serpent Wig still see play? At the end of the day, it's a 1 mana give your minion +1/+1. If you played a Naga, you're paying 1 extra mana for a +1/+1 buff and a give you +1/+1 after. At face value, that's not amazing, but we've seen how good the Naga cards are while casting spells, so maybe there will be some support. Also, it's in Priest, and I don't think Priest has been really good except for maybe 1 or 2 decks, so give Priest a good deck. Come on. Ambassador Phelan. Battlecry, put 3 colossal minions on the bottom of your deck. I'm not sure on this, but I'm pretty sure it just puts 3 random colossal minions on the bottom of your deck. In that case, it's a pretty solid card if you think about it. 4 mana 4/5, that's a Chillwind Yeti. Don't sleep on the Chillwind Yeti. It also supports Dredge pretty well. You get 3 cards on the bottom of your deck that you can selectively choose from and put on the top of your deck. This sounds a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my gosh. I mean, you're not really tutoring your deck that hard, and you can draw for more specific cards in other ways, but you get the idea that you're moving your deck in a specific way, so you draw cards in a specific order, and you can discover certain cards. That's a bad analogy, never mind. Cool card, I can see it be put in a bunch of control decks. We'll see if control is still a thing though. Sir Finley Sea Guide. Battlecry, swap your hand with the bottom of your deck. Thinking about Ambassador Phelan, you can specifically draw for colossal cards with that combo. Or if you really don't like your hand, just throw it away. You can draw some new cards. For me, it's looking like a combo deck, and not a combo as an OTK, a combo as you can move your deck around, move some parts around, and then get a really good hand and play off from that. I'm really looking forward to what other combos you can make with this and the revitalization of the game. It's not dead, but you get the idea. The game could be better right now. So look forward to April 12th when the new expansion will be released.